Hey beauties, it's Riri. If you're new here, I'm an over 40 lover of all things beauty and I love showcasing indie brands here on my channel. Today's video is going to be a chatty get ready with me and let's catch up. We're diving right in. All of my skincare is already done and I'm going to go in and prime with the Power Grip Primer with niacinamide from e.l.f. If you've been here for a while, you're probably going to be thinking, Riri, what the heck are you doing? You hated this type of primer. I've tried the milk one. I've tried the other e.l.f. one. I recently re-tried this type of a product and realized that I was applying it wrong in the past. Now, I will stay true to my claims of absolutely hating the texture. I hate the texture of it. But I did realize, and it has been great since I used it right, I did realize that using it where you're pressing it into the skin, I'm kind of pressing and pulling like this. If you do that, instead of trying to massage it and rub it into the complexion, it works much, much better. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. And I also realized that I was originally going straight in with makeup. I typically wait like 30 seconds or so for a primer. You have to let this sit on your skin for a good few minutes. So, with that being said, I wanted to just kind of come back and revisit this and kind of give some updated thoughts on it because I hated that type of product in the past. Anyways, I want to catch up with you guys. I hope you guys are well. It has been probably very close to a month aside from me doing like shorts content when I had family in town. It's been a long time since I have sat in here and just been able to open up and talk and have fun and play with some makeup. I'm also going to be demoing for you guys. I used this the entire weekend. It is too light, which sucks because it was a little pricey, but this is the brand new Fenty Beauty Ease Drops Blur and Smooth Tint Stick. I got shade 7. I probably should have gotten like shade 9 because obviously my face is a lot lighter than my body is because I get a lot of sun in the summertime. But I got shade 7. I did use this all weekend, but I do have to go in and mix it with the House Labs one in the shade 280. This is the Trione Skin. But I love the texture of this, the consistency. It is incredibly smooth. It's incredibly smooth. It's very, very creamy. Blends out incredibly well. It lasted really well. Of course, I layered it just a little bit with this one. I will note though, I do have very dry skin. I feel like if you have more oily skin, I don't know how you'd like this. So we are going to rewind. We're going to go all the way back. This is going to be a long video too, probably. So y'all know what I say. Grab your tacos and your tequila, your milk and your cookies, your Doritos, Cheetos, Fritos, whatever is your pleasure. Sit back and relax and enjoy the show. I do appreciate your time so much. But we're going to rewind all the way back to August 5th. From August 5th to August 15th, I had family in town. From the 5th to the 12th, my brother and my nephew were in town. And then my son came in on the 10th. Yes, the 10th to the 15th. If you are new here, I am a new empty nester. My son does live a few hours away from us now, so it was awesome that I got to see my brother and my nephew, and Caleb was able to kind of come in and visit with us as well. So when my brother comes in town, he's a good time. He is my person. We are very similar, but then also opposites at the same time. And what I mean by that is we don't always share the exact same, views and things like that, which that's fine. Not everybody does. That's what we're supposed to do. We're all humans and we're all different. But we both really respect other people's views and opinions. We can sit down and have, intellectual conversations and not fight and argue and get ugly with one another because, that's what people should be able to do. But he's also he's a character and he's a clown and he's funny and outgoing and we like to have a good time. We both have a very crazy, weird, sometimes sick sense of humor, which I also really love and value that, about him. But I love when he's in town. It's a great time. We went to the local river here. And the reason I'm saying local river is because there's more to tell as I get through this. But we went to the local river here and we went river tubing. And it was a blast. That is my first time ever doing that. I've never been tubing before. I'm going to say I feel like it was a little pricey because we had our own inner tubes and stuff with us. So I feel like I don't know, like maybe you should only have to pay for like the shuttle to bring you back. I don't know. Which, I mean, it was worth it for the experience of it. I don't view things just as, oh, it cost this or it was this. I view it as the total overall experience, if that makes any sense. So there was a bunch of us that went, and like my niece got to go with us. We had Brett's cousin go with us. It was me and Brett, of course, my brother and my nephew and our son. So that was amazing, other than Caleb getting sunburnt. And then we went to the farmer's market, cooked some good meals. We all hung out in the hot tub. Well, it's a blow-up inflatable hot tub that we call our pool in the summertime because we don't have a pool and my fluffy ass likes being in the water. So, yeah, when I say I'm getting in my pool, and yes, I'm using a lot of this, it's a tint, so it's more kind of a lighter medium coverage, but of course I'm trying to match to the rest of my body. Again, this is very thin and very balmy, almost kind of like a slight oily texture to it. So for me, I love it. I loved it all weekend. And as we get into like October, November, when it's actually my shade, I think I'm really gonna love this. But yeah, that's the reason I have to drag it all the way down. But yeah, we got all in the pool. It's just our hot tub without the heat on, obviously, in cool water. And that was super fun. That's something that Brett and I really like to do, especially now being new empty nesters. For me at first, it was quite challenging. And it still is. You know, I'm used to a certain day-to-day routine, if you will, you know, getting up at the same time, getting my son up for school, things like that. But I'm kind of finding my footing and kind of finding my own routine, which is nice that I'm finally getting to that place. Like mentally, I feel like I'm starting to feel a little bit better about that type of stuff. But that is something that Brett and I really love to do, is literally just pack up our little mini cooler that we have and just go out back and get in the little mini pool hot tub. And it's a good freaking time. We listen to music, have a couple cold ones. It's a good time. I enjoy it. We have a blast. We like to play cards. We like to do karaoke. I have an amazing karaoke machine, like karaoke system that actually Brett's aunt and uncle gave to us, and it's phenomenal. So I'm layering this just a little bit. It's still going to seem a little light in comparison to my body, but when I bronze up and stuff like that, it doesn't look as bad. But I didn't want to demo it for you guys. It's kind of one of the only newer products that I have, aside from the palette I'm going to be using today. I've been on a low buy, so I don't really buy a whole lot right now, and I don't intend on buying a whole lot. We're going to get into that too. So my brother and Caleb and my nephew and everybody was here. We had a great time. We also celebrated my sister's birthday. So if you are also a Leo, comment down below your birthday. Happy birthday to you. But we had a little birthday party for my sister as well. It was a really, really good time. I had a blast. I forgot my powder. Give me 2 seconds. All right, I'm gonna go in with my Treadwell Puff and my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder in the shade 2. I'm just trying to finish this up. It is almost gone, as you can tell. But I'm gonna go ahead and set all over. And I don't typically set, but I feel like with this, I have to. And of course, it's also summertime. This is also going to give you, if you're aiming for a little bit more coverage, adding this does give you a little bit more coverage. But man, I'm telling you, I used this all weekend long, this combination, and my makeup stayed in place. It looks pretty damn good. Yeah, it looks absolutely stunning. I'm really careful too about making sure I don't put product directly under my eyes, just because I am more mature and we have, you know, signs of aging and stuff like that, which that's what we're supposed to do. We're human and we age. So the 5th to the 15th, that is why I was pretty not present. I was trying to make sure that I added a couple of little videos in there and did a couple shorts when I did do my makeup. We had a blast. We had an absolute amazing time. I'm going into this shade, and then I'm gonna mix in this shade right here. But we also went to one of our favorite like barbecue joints, and that's gonna lead me to my next topic. Here in the South, I'm in North Carolina if you're new, but barbecue to us is literally pulled pork. And I know that a lot of times when people hear that, they think about barbecue just as in meats, like barbecued meats kind of in general terms, I think. So I'm curious, where are you from, and do you like barbecue, and do you call barbecue just pulled pork. My favorite, I mean, I like pulled pork. I'll take, you know, eat me a pulled pork sandwich and put some sauce on it and some coleslaw, and it's a good time. But my favorite, when we go to our local favorite spot, is the brisket. I love brisket, and it is so hard to find good brisket because, well, not all brisket is created equal. And I'm pretty particular about it, so yeah, but I love going there. We all went there as well. That was a good time too. We had a good lunch that day. I've been crazy busy, and I'm the type of person that I like to be present. I'm not somebody that, you know, when company's here, I'm on my phone the entire time, and, you know, I don't want to come in and film, and I like to stay present, but I definitely try to update you guys and let you guys know when those things are happening. So basically all that was going on from the 5th to the 15th. So for a couple days, I definitely, you know, had to take time to get my house back in order and get everything cleaned and sanitized and caught up on laundry and the linens and, you know, all the things. If you have house guests, then you know. Plus, I get overstimulated sometimes, so I need to just kind of have a few days to rest and just compose myself, if you will. Also, I've been testing this out. I have a lot more new products than I thought I did. Blend Bunny Cosmetics Noctilucent Palette. This was on sale, and I think I used like a 10% or 15% code. I don't know what my eyes are going to be today, so I think I'm just going to use maybe Apparition, which is this one right here. I will swatch it for you. But all of these are like very translucent, aside from this one obviously, but then they have beautiful like multi-chrome shifts to them. They are pretty damn stunning, so I've been using this as well. And this is a little more glittery, way more glittery than I traditionally go. But I've just been using like a very, very light hand and then just kind of buffing it out the best that I possibly can. I think it's absolutely stunning. It also lasts a really long time on the skin, but if you do not like a kind of glittery, sparkly type highlighter, this is not for you. It's typically not something I would go for either. But with it being on sale and me wanting to try it, I also figured that I could use this as like eye toppers and stuff too. But for today, we're definitely going more bold and colorful, so I feel like for today, we're fine. So once we got through the 15th, I took those couple of days to just kind of relax and, you know, get things back together and stuff like that. And my husband and I were planning a trip to Boone, which is pretty much our favorite place on earth. My favorite place used to be the beach, but there's just something about the mountains and it being cool. It was 96 degrees here the day that we left to go to Boone, and it was only 56 degrees in Boone that evening when we got there. And I am somebody that I traditionally, like I said, I love the beach and I prefer the beach, but there is something about going to Boone. I'm trying to find my brush that I cannot find. There it is. But there's something about Boone, just how beautiful it is. It's like Boone, Blowing Rock, Boone, Blowing Rock, Boone, Blowing Rock, all those kind of adjacent, you know, little places. But the weather, even in the height of summer, where right now we are right around 100 degrees every single day, their high even was like 76 the one day, like 72 one day, and then 80 one day. And it's spectacular. I will try to pop some pictures up here. But just the environment, it's so incredibly beautiful, and everything around you there is just beautiful. It's just stunning. And there's a lot to do there. We decided we were not going to cancel it or anything like that, and we deserve this. We were like, hey, we've been through a lot. It's been a rough couple of years. And we know kind of heading into like holiday time and all that kind of stuff, that, you know, money's going to start being a little bit more tight, and we have obviously other bills and stuff that are coming up. So we're like, let's just do one little quick weekend getaway, and y'all, it was so phenomenal. We did so much. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'll finish telling y'all about our weekend trip. This is kind of more bluey, maybe a little bit violet. Let's do like blue and purple. And this is the first time I've ever used the Spoiled Cosmetics or Spoiled Lips Cosmetics. This is aka Aislinn and Spoiled Cosmetics. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel slightly cheap, and then like the unit carton does feel cheap, but it's also a like cheaper, more affordable price point. But I am but I am completely unfamiliar with anything about this brand, so hopefully you like it. I am going to do probably half blue and half purple, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to start very, very light, and then I'll get like a pencil brush and kind of do some detail work with it. But the first night that we got there, we actually got in a little later than we anticipated, unfortunately. But Brett had to take care of, obviously, work stuff and things like that. But we got in a little later than we anticipated. So Friday night, we just went and we grabbed some food on the way in. And then we went to our little cabin, which was so cute. And it's really cool, too, because I've never been there other than like a one-day trip that Brett, Caleb, and I took there. But Brett goes every single year. Like, they normally do a guys trip, and that's kind of, you know, he didn't get to do the guys trip this year, so that was what we were doing. But he has been several years, and like, he's pretty familiar with the area. Like, that's ultimately where hopefully we can retire to one day. But it is my first time ever going there to be able to kind of experience it in all its glory, if you will. So I was super excited. So the first night we get there, we just grab some food on the way in. We get to the cabin, and at first I was like, hey, should we get like something nice and fancy and whatever? But I opted, and we opted for literally a tiny cabin in the woods. And no bells, no whistles or anything like that. It was just by itself. It was kind of off the beaten path a little bit. It wasn't like this extravagant, like beautiful, amazing, whatever. It was what it said it was, a quaint little cabin in the woods. And holy crap, these are nice so far. But I'm glad that we opted for that because it was really secluded. It was really nice. It wasn't like quite as scenic. It wasn't like overlooking, you know, the river, and it wasn't on top of the mountain, but it was incredibly beautiful. There was a cute little creek and stuff like that. There was like a little game area. It was plenty of space for just Brett and myself. And we ended up seeing this amazing family of freaking deer come through. I'll also try to remember to pop that up. We saw a family of 5 deer, which they were so close to us. I've also never experienced that before. Mind-blowing. It was so incredible. Like, I was literally freaking out. Literally freaking out. Like, they were from here to, I don't know how many feet away, but close, very close. So that was a really cool experience. But when we got in Friday, all that to say, we just kind of chilled. We got in the hot tub, had a couple of drinks and stuff like that, spent some time together, watched a couple of movies, and it was just kind of just a relaxing night. And then Saturday, something I've been waiting to do for years and years and years, and Brett and them have done it for the entire time that they've gone to the mountains, is getting on the river and doing river tubing there. So I had the experience, you know, obviously the weekend before that, going here locally, and it was I mean, I had nothing to compare it to, so to me it was a great time. But Brett and Caleb kept saying, like, this is nice, but wait till you experience it in Boone. And I was like, whatever, like, they're just talking shit. When I tell you, they were not talking shit. The experience in Boone on the river, doing the river tubing, was vastly different. The water was, I mean, sparkling crystal clear, the most beautiful water you've ever seen. And then you get to actually be encapsulated by the mountains and these trees and stuff like that. You're seeing a ton of cabins and stuff across the whole trip, and you know, there's people that are in their, you know, backyards, which is the river, and they're out there fishing, or they're just sitting in the water and, you know, their little 3 feet of water with their little lounge chairs and stuff. It was so freaking cool, other than this old man killing a squirrel and throwing it into the river as we passed by. That was lovely. But man, it was so amazing. And I'm really proud of myself too, because like the day that we went here locally, there were so many of us that I guess I didn't have like the fear that I did when Brett and I first started, when we started out on the river, you know, tubing when we were in Boone. And I was really scared at first. Like, every little thing that touched me, I was, you know, screaming and jumping, and I was like, oh my God, and I was scared to go into rocks, and I was scared to touch like the bank and touch trees and vines and stuff like that. And it was really scary, and I could feel like my anxiety getting really bad. But within probably 20-ish minutes or so, I was so comfortable. I was so relaxed. I was in the zone. I was having a blast. And then it got to where I was so comfortable and kind of like found my footing, so to speak, that Brett handed me the freaking paddle, and as we got stuck on rocks and stuff like that, or if we needed to navigate, I was the one that was navigating. It was so nice, and it was a good 3.5-4 hour ride. You'll be exhausted though, I will tell you that for sure. But we also went that day, we got something to eat that day, and then we went back to the cabin again and just hung out. It was just nice to breathe, to not have to do anything and not worry about cooking and cleaning and people and drama and just nothingness. It was nice to just have nothingness. It was nice to just spend time with my husband. And I'm gonna cut my crease. I'll be right back. Are they even? Maybe not. It's okay though. I'm literally just gonna go into the corresponding colors. We're gonna put blue on the outside. I'll start with my finger first. Oh, that's way lighter than I anticipated. I have not even swatched this palette yet. Might need to use a brush for this or a silicone applicator, and that'll be just fine. But I'm gonna put the blue on this side and then the purple on the inner portion. I did also add a little bit more highlight, and I have to film regular content after this, so I might look a little bit strange when I'm filming that, but hey, that's cool. But anyways, we had a fantastic weekend. The river and stuff was so incredible, you guys. I just cannot tell you like just how peaceful it was, how calm I felt. It was just, man, it was great. It was absolutely perfect. And then Sunday we stopped and went and did some sightseeing and stuff like that, took some pictures and stuff, got a really good lunch as well on our way out, and then we were on our way home, and I happened to see that we were in the same county that our son lives in. And I was like, hey babe, you want to make an impromptu visit and go see Caleb? So we ended up being able to go see our son for just a few minutes, which it kind of worked out too for us because I'm getting a silicone applicator. We had like the food that we had gotten through the duration of the trip, and we didn't want to obviously waste any food and stuff like that. So we're like, hey, we'll run by his house and we'll take him like the food and stuff that we have, so we know for sure that that doesn't get wasted. But then it was also like, you know, just a cool little special little trip, you know, a little sneaking. It was cool to just kind of sneak up on him and, you know, spend a few minutes with him. And I literally mean like a few minutes. We were there like 10 minutes. But I don't know, there was just something so amazing about this trip. And Brett and I, as far as, you know, like a vacation type thing and not just, you know, going to visit Caleb, which of course that's just as special. But as far as like doing a vacation type thing, solely Brett and myself, we have not done that since like 2015. So we needed it. I'm not gonna lie to you, we needed it. And it was just a refresh, and it just, I don't know, it was great. Absolutely perfect in my opinion. This is not, I mean, it's really pretty, and I like that it has like a little cool like yellowy type shift to it. I guess I'm just used to like something a little bit more punchy, and maybe if I did a tacky base or something, it'd work a little bit better. So we're not going to count it out. And then the purple seems a little bit more kind of sheeny. Yes. So maybe it's just that shade. I'm not sure. Overall though, I'm really enjoying this. Like those mattes blended out perfectly. I have next to no fallout. And I liked that I could start kind of softer and build them up, which is really, really cool. And we'll see how long they wear. Long wearability is the most important thing for me. I kind of now wish that I would have reversed it and done like the blue here and the purple here, and then the blue and the purple up there. But I'm just trying to make sure they blend together. I like it overall. That blue is just slightly a little bit underwhelming for me, but that's okay. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys. It was nice. It was so nice having all my family and stuff here, and then, you know, doing the birthday party, and just, I don't know, I value that. I value that so, so much. Like, I am somebody that, you know, like me saying this is going to be a long video and I appreciate your time. I don't say that just like, you know, haphazardly, oh, hey, thanks for being here. I really genuinely value you and your time. Time is the most important thing in the entire world to me, because I understand that we are on borrowed time. So when I can spend time with friends and family, that is the reason why I unplug and why I stay present and why I'm not as present here. And I appreciate you guys being patient with me during those times. It's super important to me. It's really important to me to to be in the moment and be appreciative and, you know, not have my freaking face stuck in a phone. Nothing drives me more crazy than that. Like even, you know, friends and family, when they come over, I'm like, can you please put your phone down and enjoy the people that you're around for 2 hours of your day? You know what I mean? Like I'm very particular about that. Like even when Brett and I were gone, I would check in, you know, with my mom and stuff like that and just kind of see how they were doing, make sure they were cool. And I would text Caleb once a day. Aside from that, no. Brett and I both unplugged and it was so nice. Just, it was stress-free, it was relaxing, and there was just something, I don't know, it was beautiful and magical, and I had a blast. And I'm so happy that we did it. Like, we know we're gonna not be able to do this again for a very long time. So yeah, it was great. I would like to know, what is your favorite vacation spot? And if you could retire, if you could go anywhere in the entire world and live, where would it be? I'm curious about that. I used to say the beach, which the water is my happy place. Wherever I'm at, I need a pool. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go into this little shade here for the inner corner in a little teeny tiny pencil brush. But the more now that I'm experiencing the mountains, and you know, the more that I know that I would not want to be super hot all year long, and the more that I realize I am definitely more up for cool weather than I am hot weather, I would like to also retire to Boone, or at least near there somewhere. But then I run into the conflict of, you know, being far away from my mama and stuff like that, and I would like your opinion on this as well. I'm gonna spray this with a little bit of setting spray. I know obviously people grow up and they move away from their parents and stuff like that. I get that. You know, my own kid is now gone and, you know, doing his own thing like he's supposed to be doing. But I have such guilt, and I know Brett does too, and maybe that's why we've kind of stuck around here, knowing we hate it here. I mean, I hate it here. I hate it here. But I think because of our families, I think that's part of the pressure to stay here. So my question to you is, do you feel pressure, you know, or have you ever felt pressure by your family to kind of stick around or stay, you know, near your hometown or stay near your family members? I'm curious about that. And I mean, obviously our goal is to, you know, to be able to retire and kind of do our own thing and build a home, or, you know, buy our dream home, so to speak. But yeah, I'm curious about that. You know, do you ever feel guilt? You know, if you are somebody that, you know, you left your hometown, you're not near your family. Also, how does it affect you? Not just do you feel guilty about your family. Love this. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 yellow hearts so far. And I'll update too on long wearability and things like that. But, you know, do you feel guilt from it? Does it make you feel, I don't know. I hope I'm saying what I'm trying to say. Like, the guilt part of it, like, do you feel like you're lonely? Do you feel like you're missing out on it, like from, you know, your point of view? And then also, do you feel like you're letting your family down, your friends down, etc.? I'm going to go in with my Real Her I Am Strong Brow Pencil and my Glossier Boy Brow in the shade, I think it's just brown. Yes, in the shade brown. I'll be right back. Alright, I also finished up with my Maybelline Sky High Mascara, and I'm going to go in with the Lunar Beauty Gloss in the shade Devon. And quickly, I'm going to talk about a couple of channel updates. As you guys know, I'm on a low/no buy. I try to only buy now what I for sure know I'm going to love, or that I anticipate I'm going to love, as opposed to being all up on the latest greatest and the trends and this and that. I am not a trendy person. I could give two shits less about something being trendy. If it's trendy and I happen to like it, that's one thing. But I'm not actively seeking out trends and or trying to do the trendy thing, typically speaking. With all of that kind of being said, and the fact that I'm kind of pulling back a little bit with purchases, with, you know, buying things that are just gonna sit on a shelf to be pretty, I am going to be doing a declutter, and I mean like a massive declutter, like getting rid of probably 90% of what I own. First and foremost, because of my no buy, low buy thing. Also, I don't really have the space here like I had in my previous home where I can collect, you know what I mean, and be a collector and have more makeup. I'm not a makeup collector. And my focus recently, especially in this past year, has been more You know, I like to do a few unboxings for you guys. I like to do a little bit of like indie makeup content, which you guys know that I love indie brands, but I've really been focusing more on like Shop My Stash and Throwback Thursday, using up current product that I already have so that I'm not wasteful. I try my best to not be a wasteful person, and whatever you choose to do with your makeup collection, honey, is your business. I'm solely speaking to myself. Things go bad. Things get rancid. Chemicals and ingredients and things like that, especially in cream products, skincares, foundations, things like that, they go bad very, very quickly. And I'm sitting here like, even with mascaras, which mascara is one of my all-time favorite makeup products. Brows and mascaras, they are my thing, okay? I don't need 40 mascaras, and I probably have more than that. Why? I would like to have it be to where I have 10 of something or X amount of something. I would like to get to a place where I have a very small curated collection, and then I buy, kind of like I have been, where I'll buy like one launch that I see per month or something like that, like something that really speaks to me. Like there's a new Dose of Colors palette coming out, and Lights Lacquer has a new collection coming out. Those will probably be my purchases for like this month. But especially kind of moving into holiday time as well, I'm also going to be really selective about that and not get things because they're limited edition, or because it's a holiday collection, or because everybody's talking about it, or whatever the case may be. That's not me. And I want to just have the focus be more tutorial based, and then throwing in some plus size clothing try-ons and some unboxings and things like that. But I hope you guys are okay. I hope you guys are on board with that. Here's the deal. At the end of the day, unless you are a massive influencer, or you have the funds to buy the latest greatest of everything, or you're getting it sent to you for free, in the beauty community, if you are not first, you're last. Let's just be realistic about that. And I pay for 99.999% of everything myself. I get a very few select, you know, PR packages throughout the year that I'm so eternally grateful for, but I cannot keep up, and I'm not going to try to keep up. It's stupid. Like literally, unless you're rich or you're getting thousands of dollars worth of PR every week, every month, whatever, you can't keep up. It's not possible to be able to keep up. But hopefully you guys are okay with that. I'm definitely going to keep enough that I can do various looks, you know, be able to do smoky looks, classic, you know, natural, neutral looks, pink looks, purple. I'll keep enough of a small curated collection that I can still film and bring content to you that you guys want to see. If there are products that you know that I would like, meaning if you're seeing a matte foundation that's a full coverage foundation, I'm not going to try that for you. I do not use matte products, and I have very dry skin. But if you are, you know, on trend mood, you're on, you know, Instagram, you see somebody post something, you're like, man, I saw this new serum foundation, something, and you know it's a Riri product, then I'll try it out for you. Or if you see a new palette and you're like, oh my gosh, can we please see this in action, then I will definitely try my best to try those types of products for you guys. But I can't try products, especially kind of for the sake of buying a collection just to showcase it here. I'm not doing that anymore, and I have not been doing that for quite some time. Like even with the Scooby-Doo collection, I bought that because I love Glamlight's formula, and Scooby-Doo holds a special place in my heart. So moving forward, there's going to be a big declutter series coming up, and I'm moving more basic. We're going to go down a more basic, very minimal route, a very low maintenance route, if you will, and that's what my focus is going to be on. So let me know what you guys would like to see kind of in that realm. Hopefully you guys are on board with this. I appreciate you watching this. If you are still here, thank you so much for taking the time to come and watch. Let's have the conversation down below. What are your favorite vacation spots? Have you been to Boone? Have you been tubing? How do you feel about being an empty nester, moving away from family and friends? I need some advice. Comment down below. I love you, beauties. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. And of course, be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.